Welcome to the special Eid episode of Sports Extra. I'm your host, Ali Gohar. Eid Mubarak, everybody. It's that time of year again where we get to spend quality time with our family, take a few days off work, and eat delicious food. So today, to celebrate Eid, I'm honored to have one of the most skillful and one of the most well-recognized faces in boxing. His speed, stamina, and agility is absolutely remarkable. But it must be said that his greatness goes well beyond the ring. His tireless charity work and his initiatives to groom young boxers means that he's determined to make an impact and determined to spread joy and happiness across the world. I'm honored to have one of the greatest boxers in the world, Mr. Amir Khan. Amir Khan, Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak.
Great to have you on.
It's great to be here, thank you.
And I'm sure Amir Khan will attribute all his success to his very beautiful and very capable wife, Faryal Makhdoom, and we're also delighted to have her on the show. Faryal, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks.
It's an honor. Amir, before we start talking about your boxing career and what Faryal is doing these days, I want to talk about, because this is an Eid show, when you were a young boy growing up in Bolton, what are your memories of Eid?
My memories were, they were always good memories. When we all knew it was Eid, we used to have the day off school. And it used to be more of a get-together with the family. We all used to get together, have a big feast. All of us, there used to be food cooking from the morning, and and everything used to be, and also then used to make a lot of money because I was young then, so all my aunties, uncles, brothers used to always give me some money for like an Eid, say, oh, there's a little Eid present from us. And instead of buying you a present, they used to give money because it used to be a little bit easier. But I used to remember them days with being around the family. We used to sit down on the dinner table, we used to have dinner together, and then in the evening, or maybe early evening, we used to go out, maybe to the town centre, or maybe to a shopping mall or arcades, play bowling, go to cinema. So it used to be more of a fun day for us all.
I mean, I'm just picturing your mother cooking up a storm in the kitchen. I hear she's quite a cook.
She's a great cook, but I tell you, it was the whole house used to smell of food. So I used to always make sure my clothes, I used to put them on right at the last minute because I didn't want my clothes to smell of food. That happens,
it gets in the furniture as well.
It gets in the furniture. And the neighbours, because we used to live in an area where we used to have English neighbours, and they used to always walk out and say, Amir, some food smells amazing. So I used to always send food to the house as well.
Absolutely, yes. Faryal, what about you? I understand you grew up in New York and Staten Island, I think.
Yeah, I did.
What are your memories of Eid? How did you usually celebrate as a young girl growing up?
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, and then I moved to Staten Island, and it was the same. I had aunties and uncles, and because my mom's the eldest sister, everyone would come to my mom's house, and cousins would get together and eat together, make lots of money. And now it's like the opposite. We have to give the kids money. But
it's strange how things change.
I
still feel like I need to be given money.
So much, yeah. Time changes because now
I still feel like my husband should give me money.
Yeah, it's come to a part now where me and Faryal are just giving out money every day. We like on Eid every time, on Eid and we have so many nephews.
We have so
right? Amir's family's mashallah so big, whereas my family's a bit small. So yeah, they all get.
My family must be. We have like. My cousins have their 2-3 kids.
But it's amazing to see them all happy.
Because
they look forward to Eid.
So it must, I mean, you coming from a small family, it must have been strange for Faryal in a good way, coming into his home because he's got a big family and I'm sure they love doing things together, spending a lot of time.
It was a big difference because it's just me, my brother, my mom and dad. And even my cousins, I don't have many, but mashallah, Amr has a very, very big family.
Yeah, very big family.
So we have a lot of fun there.
I remember when my father came to the UK for the first time, he was only about 8 years old.
Right.
Only 5 of them came. 6 of them came to the UK. Now, mashallah, there must be around about 100 people, 100 of us. So now when it's Eid, especially when it's Eid, we have the whole house full of our family.
Because you're the third generation.
Second or third? Second, I think.
Your dad
was... Second.
His dad was...
No, my dad wasn't born in Pakistan.
Oh yeah, it's Uncle Hassan.
So yeah. But my dad got there when he was really young.
He was like 8.
So he still used to tell me about his Eid times then because, I mean, the best thing I love about Eid is when we go to the masjid in the morning, when we go pray the Eid namaz, the Eid salah, and you meet all your friends and, Eid doesn't begin till the salah's over. So some people wake up in the morning and say, oh, it's Eid. I go, no, it's not. Till namaz is not done,
It's funny, quite similar to what happens here in Pakistan when you think about it. But Amir, you said you used to get a lot of money from your relatives, and I understand growing up you were quite a naughty boy, which is why your father took you to the gym to become a boxer, so you could redirect all your energy. So what did you do with the money that you got?
You know, I was a really good kid because I used to save a lot of the money. I used to save it up. I used to have like a piggy bank, for example, and I used to always save all the money. I'm quite good like that. I am one guy who doesn't like to spend too much on silly things. But I used to always treat myself, buy some nice shoes, buy some tracksuits or something, buy a school bag. So I remember the last thing I bought was like a jacket for myself. When I was young, this was when I was about 9, 10 years old.
He doesn't really get himself anything. I think he just likes to give.
I like to give more. I
heard you really like watches. You're a fan.
I like watches. So basically, I'm a big collector of watches. I like to treat myself with a watch. Not only just go to buy a watch. Every fight I have, I like to buy a watch because then I remember which fight it was when I bought a watch. So it's always good to treat yourself instead of just buy it for no reason at all.
Faryal, I understand you're a fashion enthusiast, so I can just imagine, I don't know, I could be wrong, that when you got all your money, you saved up for a nice dress or something like that, something on sale.
Yeah.
Am I completely wrong?
No, you're absolutely right.
Okay, good.
She still does that. I have to give a little bit at a time. I said to her, this. You have to save up to get a big dress.
But growing up, Amir said that his mother cooked a lot in the house. So what was the system like? Where
it was the same. My mom's a really big cook. She's a Lahori, so they cook like biryanis and stuff and everything. So my mom really enjoyed cooking, and it was the same exact system. But Amir just has a much bigger family, whereas I have a much smaller family. So that's the only really difference.
I've never asked this question. What did you do on Eid? I don't know.
Same. My mom used to cook. She was the eldest, so all the cousins and aunties would come to our house, and they would all eat together. But now everyone's married. Everyone's in their own houses. Now we hardly celebrate Eid together.
Did you ever go out anywhere, like do anything?
No, we all used to have a barbecue at my house.
No, that sounds nice.
Yeah, we'd have a barbecue, and
the only thing, waking up early, I guess, is the only problem.
Yeah,
but then, I don't know, I mean, as the day progresses, you get used to it.
That's right.
But like you said, you've got a big family. It's gotten even bigger now. You have a little girl. And I'm sure, I mean, she's probably too young to understand the concept of Eid, but I'm sure you dress her up. And
like her dad, he would give people money and she takes it back and puts it back to the pocket. So she saves her dad's money.
So she can already manipulate him. She's already got him then.
Well, she's really good. She is a daddy's girl, and her name's Lamaisa.
She's really hyper. She puts on boxing gloves now, and she tries to punch and stuff, and we get scared.
Lamaisa, what does that mean?
So it's really Lamisa, but we pronounce it Lamaisa because it's a bit different. Lumps, like a soft touch. So I really liked the name. It was like a Lebanese name, I think, and I said I want to name my daughter something different. So. Yeah, it came in the paper. We changed the name about 3 times.
Because it was a girl, I said to her, you can pick the girl's name. And if it's a boy, then I picked the boy's name. So that was a deal we had.
Luckily, it was a girl.
It's a lovely name. And it's also, like you said, it means soft touch. I mean, Amir, being a boxer, obviously you have to be, there has to be, while you must be a very nice guy, even before you had a daughter, there has to be a touch of madness, to be able to get in the ring and fight somebody. But now that you have a daughter, do you feel that you've become softer after that?
I think.
Is your approach in the ring a little different?
No. The approach in the ring is still the same. I am dedicated to the sport I am in, which is boxing. One thing about boxing, outside of boxing, I'm a total different guy. When people meet me, they say, "Look, you're so down to earth." When we speak to you, we can't tell you're like a boxer. You don't seem like a boxer. You're not aggressive. You're not angry. The people expect boxers to be angry, but boxing is a game which you have to use your mind. If you use your mind, you can win anything. And I'm a very chilled guy outside the boxing ring, but once I go into the boxing ring, I think I have to switch on. That's when I'm focused.
Madness in the sense that it's still a risk, no matter what you're doing. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, look, in life, if you want a benefit in anything, there has to be some element of risk towards it. So one thing about me, I like taking these risky things. I call it extreme sports. I love extreme sports where my adrenaline is going to be pumping and I'm going to have that little bit of fear in me. But at the same time, I know that if I get past this fear, I can do well. We're
going to get to your boxing, but a little more on your daughter. I'm interested, and I'm sure we'd all be interested to know what kind of a father is Amir Faryal. Is he very hands-on?
Yeah, he is. Like in the morning, sometimes when I'm tired, he'll give her a shower. He'll change her diaper, but it'll be the wrong way around. So I'll know that Amir
You know
changed
what,
it.
Yeah, I expected that.
Just
So
the
it's
one
like
time
it's the opposite way.
I never ever changed the diaper, so she goes to him one day. Faryal went
I
out.
said, why don't you just
She went
try?
out with one of the helpers.
No,
And
Faryal, you should tell him about you can box big guys in the ring, but you can't change a diaper,
honestly,
right?
so now Lamaisa has had to change the diaper. Faryal's out, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, oh, what do I do now? Obviously, you know, I have to change it. So I did the best I could, and obviously it was the wrong way.
I'll ask Faryal, but I want to ask you first. So what type of mother is she? Is she a helicopter obsessive type of
Oh
mother,
my
or
God,
is she?
you 100% said it.
Yeah, have I
She-
said it?
Yeah,
Oh, please
helicopter.
elaborate, and then we'll
She's-
give her a chance to defend herself.
Well, I think she is very obsessive. I think as a mother, when they have a child in their stomach for 9 months, they can be so possessive. Lamaisa, she's always watching her, taking care of her. She's like her shadow. And now Lamaisa's become her shadow now because Lamaisa will leave her alone now. So she's so
Follows
used
me
to each other.
everywhere.
They're like little, they're like best friends at the same time. So sometimes I have to get in between them both. So look, you need to calm down, both of you.
So what, do you think you're a helicopter mother?
You know, when she was born, I was really possessive. Like, actually, I just couldn't leave her. I was like, it was my first child, and I just couldn't stop looking at her. I was really, really possessive over her. I didn't even let Amir touch her. But I think as she got older, I needed help, you know, and I would go crazy just always looking after her. So then
And
that's
plus
when
you're so busy yourself.
exactly, and then you know that's when, and I was young and I wanted to enjoy life as well. So I took a step back, and then I got help from like Amir, and he would help. He's really, really helpful. He's very hands-on. I couldn't do it without him. And then my mom travels a lot. She helps me. And then Amir's family's there. So I started getting help, and it's better now.
You
Before I was
started
too
getting used to
crazy.
things. It's funny because when I have sisters and they have kids, so watching them, I can see how obsessive they are. And my mother is
Yeah.
convinced that it's this new generation of mothers that are
Maybe.
obsessive, because my mother always says, "Oh, we let you do whatever
Exactly.
you
My
wanted."
mom says the same. Even Amir's mom's like, we just, you know, they just raise themselves. But I don't know. It's just, I think
I
it
think
is
the
in
problem
your
is there's more
generation.
literature out there, and then
Yeah.
we
Plus you're
read a lot about it, and we scare
Exactly.
ourselves what to expect when you're
Exactly.
expecting, and then after that, so I think we
Exactly.
scare
That's
ourselves.
so
my,
true.
like my mother always says to me when I'm kind of a little possessive. She's my daughter, and whenever I try to make a little change, she says, look how you grew up. You grew up to be a good person, a good
But I
boy.
think the kids back then
So
were
we-
much better than the kids
so-
now.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff going on around the world.
Yeah,
so
you
we have to
get
kind of keep an
scared.
eye on our children and make sure they're on the right path.
Absolutely, and media has grown as well. I mean, there's so much
True.
I mean, terrible things that you see on
Exactly.
television
So we
as
have to
well.
definitely
Like when
keep
she
an eye
was
on our
born, I
children.
didn't want pictures of her uploaded at all. I was really strict, but obviously, like, you know, they were, and you know, people got images and stuff. And then slowly now I started putting more images of her. But you know, when she was born, I was like, no, I don't want any pictures
Can you
out
take her
there.
to the park?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
take
And
her
you
for
know what?
walks?
People
Friends.
recognize her more than us.
Yeah. So basically, I took it to a park before I came to Pakistan, and so many like young girls come and were holding Lamaisa's hands and walking around with her, putting her on the swing and the slide. And I was like sat back saying she's got a couple of babysitters, so I can relax now.
And she's really friendly like her dad,
She's
so
really
she goes
good,
to
yeah.
everyone.
Right, okay, a little bit about you guys. I understand you two met in New York, and you got to know each other, and then when you got married, you moved to Bolton. You
Yeah.
guys live in Bolton now. So, Amir, I've got to ask, how did you convince Faryal to make that move to Bolton? Because I've never been to New York, but I understand like there's a huge difference between New York
Massive
and Bolton.
difference,
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
So that
and,
must have been quite a challenge.
for her, yeah.
No, for you to convince her.
To convince her, yeah. It was for both of us in a way. So for me to convince her, obviously, I think it's more of it's part of, you know, when you get married,
Our
you
culture,
go where
yeah.
the man is from. It's part of our culture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically, that was one of the things. But then, because my boxing career was mainly based in Bolton, England, and she, at the moment, she was studying. So I said to her, look, why don't you finish your studies off and just move to Bolton? And, you know, we are very comfortable in a sense where you won't need to work, just be a good housewife. And,
Right.
you know,
What did you study, if you don't?
Well, I was a double major in poli-sci, political science, and journalism, and I wanted to go into law school, so I wanted to become a corporate lawyer. And then obviously, you need a lot of studying. You don't get married in between. And I had met Amir, and then we wanted to get married, and you know, we were in a long distance relationship, so we got engaged really quick, and then about a year and a half until we got married. So then I kind of left my studies to move
I
to
think
the
it
UK.
was when she left one semester. As soon as that one
Yeah, I only
semester,
have one
she
semester
had one left.
left,
She
though.
had one left. and she just couldn't finish it because
Yeah.
she was traveling to do
I
wedding
went to
shopping.
India. I went to, I
So I
came
might
here to
send her back to New
Pakistan.
York to finish it.
Yeah,
No,
because
I'm
he
sure-
really needs the money. That's why.
I'm sure. No, I'm sure at some point you'll get time. If
Yeah,
it'd be good to-
inshallah, for
if
sure.
I
It's
always
always
said-
good to have your degree.
It'll
Yeah.
always be nice because then when Lamaisa grows up, her mother had a degree. She's gonna be like, "Wow, I want to be like my mother." You know,
Yeah.
she had a degree, so I want to.
She has no choice but to get a degree, though.
No, I'm sure she will, and I think I don't know. I mean, like when she grows up, what would you like her to do? I mean, do you want her to become a boxer like you,
Probably
or
not a
be
boxer,
a fashion
but
enthusiast?
you know what? She's very athletic, and I would push her into anything she likes besides boxing.
Yeah, I think she's very hyperactive. She's hyperactive.
Yeah, she would
but
have to go to the gym.
Obviously, being a boxer is a very difficult sport, and it's a sport that I would not want to see my children in because, I mean, my parents are very strong to see me in the boxing ring. My mother doesn't see me. My wife doesn't see me fight. It must be tough for my father to see me fight. I would not be able to see my child be in the ring and take a punch or get hurt because obviously it's a life-risking sport. So Lamaisa, I would rather put her into athletics, gymnastics, or something else. It could be whatever she likes, but not boxing.
Right, I can understand that. And Faryal, it must be difficult for you. I mean, while Amir is a great boxer, he's a human being, so he'll naturally get hurt. So when you see him hurt or down on the canvas, it must affect you quite deeply.
Well, I don't really watch his fights, and I usually
When you hear about it.
Yeah, when I hear about it, I usually get a phone call, and it is tough to, even though I'll know he's safe, even if he wins the fight, it's just the thought that he has gotten hurt and bruised up. So it's hard, but it's something he likes. I have to support him in it.
You know, boxing's always been there in my career, my life. And I met Faryal at the age of maybe 22, was I? 23?
I think you were 23, 24.
23, 24. And boxing I started when I was 8 years old, so she respects that. She says, look, obviously boxing.
I mean, I would love him to retire. I think he's boxed so many years, but obviously
Couple of more years.
Well, that's Amir. Actually, I mean, I don't mean to pry too much, but that's why I asked because about your daughter. Did you become softer after that? There's a lot more to think about.
There is definitely, because now I have a family. I have a little girl. I want to be safe, and I also want to be mentally and physically in a good condition for them, so I can one day after I retire, I can take them on holidays. We can have vacations together. We can go on trips together. We can be together as a lovely family, But look, a couple of more years left in my boxing career.
Every year he says that.
I always keep increasing it by one.
Stubborn people in
So
the
every
world.
year he's like, 1 more year, 2 more year, and then the next year goes to 3 years.
Faryal, the most stubborn people in the world are athletes, so you'll have to get used to that.
But look, everything I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for Lamaisa, for Faryal. I'm doing it for them to be comfortable. I don't want Lamaisa to be a spoiled child where she wants what she gets. She gets what she wants. I want her to be
as grounded as
a
possible.
grounded child, but a comfortable. We financially will be comfortable, and this is why I'm doing the sport boxing. Look, this is why we all work to be comfortable financially.
Absolutely, and it's clear that your prime goal is to look after your family, and
correct.
you're doing a wonderful job at that. Let's just a little bit about your boxing now, Amir. And we touched on this earlier. You were 8 years old when you really started, and you started competing properly at 11. But what drew you to this path?
What drew me to boxing was I was very hyperactive. I was full of energy. I used to always misbehave in school. I used to misbehave that bad that my grandmother had to come to school to sit there and watch me.
You were that disruptive.
I was that really bad, yeah.
Has he improved Faryal since?
Yeah.
You
I
think?
think
Well, not that you know, but
I think boxing's disciplined him a lot.
I can't believe how
He's a
chilled
really
I am.
good boy
when
now.
people tell me the stories how bad I was like, really?
You know, Amir, it's funny because the kids who grow up, difficult, as they get older, it's strange that they become a lot more mellow, a lot more chilled out.
I am so mellow now. Like, I'm so chilled out now, and I cannot believe that I was like that. So much energy, I had so much energy. But I know sometimes it happens to me that I am really energized and I'm doing crazy things, and
Yeah,
people
like
say
he'll
like
get
hyper.
2 hours of sleep and he'll be up, and I'm like, you're a machine.
Yeah. So I think with boxing, I needed that in life, because if I didn't do that, maybe I could have taken the wrong route, got in trouble with the police, been in the jail, done something stupid. But luckily, boxing in a way kept me away from all these bad things, and it kept my energy in the right things.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, the most noticeable thing about your style and your game is your speed. Your speed is absolutely incredible. Is that something you think you were born with or something you had to work at?
You know, you can never work on speed. People always ask me this question. They always ask me, how can we develop our speed? How can we work on speed? I don't think you can. Speed, you're either born with or you're not. MashaAllah, Allah has given me that speed and strength that when I go into a fight, I mean, sometimes I watch videos of myself and I think, wow, look, I can't believe how quick I am. I have to start I'm in shock when I see how quick I throw punches. It's crazy because obviously I don't know how fast I am, but obviously it's just natural to me. My adrenaline is the way my body is shaped. So I don't know where the speed comes from. I think it's just God gifted.
Right, absolutely. And another notable feature of the way you, it's not just about your skill or the way you box. You've got incredible heart. And I think this was in 2009 where you lost quite badly to a guy called Prescott, but then you came back a few months later and beat Fagan. I understand. Is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah, you beat Fagan, and you must have been down in the dumps after you were beaten by Prescott, but then you came back very strongly. And maybe your wife can weigh in on this. That it's not so much about your skill; it's more your drive and your determination 100%. That makes you a great boxer.
100%. I mean, one thing about me, I'll never give up. I mean, I could be put down. I could be, people could say he's finished. He should end his career. But one thing about, I believe in myself, and I think that's number one. Children who are watching this now, they should always believe in themselves. Any sportsman or women should believe in themselves and never think they cannot achieve what they want to achieve in life. With me, when I lost my first professional fight, everyone ripped me off. They said Amir is never going to be the champion he wants to be. He is. He's finished now. He might as well hang up his gloves and retire. But I came back with a bang. And those same people who said to me I should retire are now like, wow, Amir is the best thing since sliced bread.
Isn't it funny how people leave you when you fail and then all of a sudden, when you see success again, they come right back?
Crazy. And look, I'm glad that I've tasted defeat in boxing because, by tasting defeat, it shows what type of a person you are, what type of a fighter, and what's inside you. Most fighters, professionally, could not come back from a defeat. There's only maybe 10% fighters in the world who have a defeat and come back at the top again. I mean, I think I'm one of the top 10% fighters who have had a defeat but come back stronger.
Faryal, where do you think Amir gets this incredible self-belief from?
I think I don't know, he tells me it's because he's Rajput.
Wow.
I think it's for hard work. Honestly, I train hard. And when it
he does. He trains really hard. I'll go to the gym and I'll run and I'll be like, oof, I've had a great workout. But when I see him train, I actually feel sorry for him, and it makes me sometimes I'll have arguments with him and stuff. I just like just to bother him sometimes. But when he has a hard day at the gym and I watch him, I actually appreciate what he really does for
Actually,
me.
yeah, this will be interesting. Can you expound on this a little further? What's it like watching Amir Khan train? It must be quite a sight.
It is, yeah. I mean,
she's been to a couple
crazy,
of training camps as well. She's been to a couple of my training camps.
It's intense, really intense.
You went to the gym, you've seen me spar.
I don't really watch you spar, no, but sometimes he usually spars really, really, really good, and he's beating the other guy up, so I kind of get excited. But it's hard.
Faryal, you're also very, very, you're a passionate woman. You can tell that. You're very passionate about fashion. I understand you've got your own lipstick now.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I came out with my, obviously I'm a housewife, and my main priority is to look after my daughter.
That's the most difficult job.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is that I thought I'd do something that would be from home and something I enjoy and I like. So I started my YouTube channel. I used to get crazy views, and that was time consuming too. And then I went on and I got into lipsticks and makeup. So that's doing really well. So I'm currently doing that. Inshallah, one day I'll soon stock in Pakistan. So yeah.
And I'm sure Amir's been a huge support as well.
Yeah, he has been.
I mean, obviously, I don't know anything about makeup.
Do you understand anything about makeup, contouring, or anything? Contouring, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you probably have a girlfriend.
No, I've got 3 sisters.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Basically, whenever we go out to eat dinner,
He always
I'm always
yells at me,
yelling,
"What are you
saying,
doing?"
Faryal, please, hurry. She's doing the makeup, she's taking her time, and That's what I hate about
Well, how
women.
long does she take to get ready?
Oh my God, she takes ages. I don't know. I can't
do,
say.
I take a while.
She takes.
I'll
a
have
long
breaks. I'll sit on my phone. I'll go on my Instagram.
It's
Then I'll
funny,
put on
even
my
celebrity couples have the same problem.
Same problem, no
Yeah,
different. She has breaks in between. She has to check her phone, text her friends, then take a picture, and then she'll carry on her makeup. Then she, oh my God.
do a
it's crazy.
Snapchat while I'm doing my makeup. You know, get involved with
Absolutely.
it.
Well, we're going to discuss a lot more, but after a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're in conversation with the legendary boxer Amir Khan and his lovely wife Faryal Makhdoom. Amir, before the break, we were talking a little bit about your boxing, and we'll get to the boxing academies that you're opening in Pakistan and the charity work that you're doing. But before that, a little bit more on your career, because I find it quite fascinating. You were a light welterweight, and then you moved up in 2016, in the beginning of 2016, I understand, to a middleweight. You weighed in at 155, if I'm not
The
mistaken.
fight was made under 160 pounds, but I weighed at 155.
Yeah, so for boxing enthusiasts like myself, that sort of transition is very interesting. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Basically, a fight come to me. I wanted to fight in the 147-pound division, which is my natural weight, and nobody wanted to fight me in that weight division. So what I had to do, I had to move up two weight categories to fight the world champion. So he was coming down from like 190, and I was going up from 147 to fight him. So obviously it didn't work out for me. I lost the fight. The guy was physically too big. I think one thing I realized from this is you have to respect weight categories. I thought maybe it'll be fine. My speed, my movement will win this fight for me. But because he was just naturally big, when I hit him with a blow, he just kept coming back stronger. Like he wasn't even...
But you were doing more than holding your own in the beginning.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, that's why if that was someone at my own weight, at my natural weight, with the shots I was catching Canelo with, I don't think he would be in front of me. I think I would have probably stopped him or maybe hurt him. But because he was naturally bigger, the punches I was hitting him with were not affecting him at all.
Right, Faryal, we talked a little bit about this before, but just to take this a little further, you know, after Amir's done with the boxing match, and you know, naturally, like I said, you know, incredible boxer, but a human being. Sometimes he'll have a bad day. Sometimes he lose. How do you support him after he's been through something like that? What do you try to do?
Like this fight, I didn't watch it, and I didn't really want him to go up 2 weight divisions.
Right.
Because I knew 147 was perfect for him. I mean, he did so well against Alexander, and before that, he fought Collazo. Yeah. At 147, and he did so well. And then this time I was praying, and I heard, obviously I kept going on Twitter to see what was going on, and then I would put my phone on airplane mode. But I heard that he was doing so well, that Amir's speed was so quick that, you know, Canelo couldn't really catch him. So I was so happy. And then when I had gotten a phone call that Amir had lost, I went to my dad's room, and there was Geo headlines. And obviously my heart stopped, because for me it's like my family, my child, me. You know, if something happens to him, my life's over in a way. So but I didn't show it to him. I usually don't like when he calls me, because I do end up crying. But he usually calls me and says, "Look, I'm fine, I'm okay." I think he gives me more like satisfaction.
That must be one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah,
Again,
I think
we
he
talked about
worries
this before, but being a boxer's wife, you know, going
But you know,
through that
he's
mental
really
trauma.
strong, and that makes me strong. So then after I flew into Vegas, and I said to him, "Look, don't worry, you're gonna come back stronger and stay at 147, because I know you can, you know, finish it." And that's it. We just both help out each other and make each other feel better. So.
Amir,
I do always call her though after the fight.
He does, yeah.
Just to make her feel like she probably thinks, oh, Amir is probably unconscious, or
just to put her mind at ease, because I'm
to make
sure
it-
you understand. I mean, being,
No,
a
for sure.
boxer's wife. This is probably the
And,
hardest
you
thing she
know,
has to go through. That's why she wants you to retire. It's
100%.
purely out of concern.
And millions of people around the world want to speak to me at the time. Straight after a fight, they all want to get in touch with me. So my phone's like going crazy. But I turn everything off and I just call my wife up and just tell her that I'm fine. Speak to my mother as well. And they're the two people I speak to. Everyone else I can speak to later.
And I'm sure like you probably feel so much better once you hear their voice.
Yeah, because I'm one of them type of guys that I want to make sure they're at peace and they're at ease, where they're not going to be worried about me. They're not going to be thinking, oh, is Amir okay? I just want to put their mind to rest. That look, I'm fine. You have nothing to worry about. Go to sleep and I will see you tomorrow.
You said you still have a couple of good years left
sure,
in you,
yeah.
so I'm sure there are a couple of people you really want to take on. Who are
So
those
basically,
boxers?
I'm 29 years old now, so I'm at my peak of my career now, physically and also in experience as well. There's one fight which I'd love to have, which is the Danny Garcia fight, because obviously that's a fight I was winning and I threw it away myself, knowing that I didn't train hard in training camp, knowing that I made a few mistakes in that fight. I wasn't as focused. I mean, I was
But
coming
you were
off.
like beating him up the first two. It was like a man versus a little boy.
I mean, even the promoters who promoted that fight, who also promote Garcia, said when we saw the first 2 rounds, we said, "What the hell have we done here? It's a mismatch." Amir has, but this is boxing for you. One punch can change a
He
fight.
was getting really angry because obviously the dad said some racist things. So Amir was just looking for a knockout, and that's when he got.
And it's
too
strange
close.
because Amir doesn't usually get angry.
Angry.
I
He's
can't,
really
even though he's
calm
a
usually.
boxer, I can't picture him angry.
So what his dad did, it was play right. He made Amir angry, which is hard to do, and I think
And
that's
he,
what.
at the press conference, he really got under my nerves, and he kept talking very about racial things and being a Pakistani and being like a terrorism and this Muslim, that Muslim. And they like that, I said, look, I'm going to teach your son a lesson. But look, it worked for him because they wanted me to be wild a little bit so he can catch me. But these are great learning curves, because if that fight ever comes back again, I'm going to make sure that no mistake happens. And I've been chasing that fight for so long now. I want that fight because I deserve the fight now. I'm still in number 1 position for the WBC title, which he has. That's the same title that I gifted to Rahil Sharif, General Rahil Sharif. So I want to fight for the new title and inshallah this time clean up the division and beat Danny Garcia as well.
Well, that's great to hear, and it's clear that you've learned from your mistakes and all that rubbish that his father was saying in the press conference. That's exactly what it is, rubbish. So you don't even need to take that to heart and things like that to heart anymore. Amir, moving on to boxing in Pakistan, you believe that you can produce a world champion in 4 years. Tell me, what exactly have you seen that makes you believe that you can groom a Pakistani boxer, a young Pakistani boxer, into a world beater like yourself?
Okay, I'm not going to say a world champion. I'm going to say an Olympian.
An Olympian?
Yeah, an international winning championships. A world championship is very difficult. I know how hard it is for me having all the equipment, having all the gyms in the UK and everything, infrastructure. Becoming a world champion is very difficult, but I know one thing. With Pakistan boxing, I will get a boxer in the next 4 years in the Olympic Games. We did not have an Olympian for a long time. Let me get an Olympian in the sport of Pakistan. So let me try this. And I am working so hard day in, day out to get one boxer at least into the Olympic Games. So that's my journey. That's my ambition. And it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. We have the gyms in Pakistan where I've built one now, and I'm going to try to get the best of the best, even if I have to spend more money, even if I have to get coaches from the UK, and even if I have to train here just to motivate the fighters of Pakistan to come out and train.
Yeah. And you know it's something that can be done because you did it at 17. You won your first silver at 17, so you know that if a boy gets the right grooming, or a girl for that matter gets the right grooming, the right training, they can make it at the top level.
That's right. It's all about training, making sure that they get the right training, and at the same time, they have to have that discipline. If they want to be the best, they have to have it in their mind that they want to achieve everything.
Faryal, it's quite evident that Amir has a lot of passion. He's extremely driven, and I'm sure you love him for a lot of reasons, but that must also be a core reason, his ambition and his big heart.
Yeah, no, for sure. he does have a big heart, and he asked me the other day, how does it feel being, my wife? Do you think it's cool that I go in the ring and beat up people up? I go, yeah, it is cool.
But after sometimes teachers tell her, look, I'm a boxer, because she tries to beat me up. She tries to put me in my place.
Did
all
you
the
have to
time.
At home, I'm the boxer.
Actually, like just to digress
The
a little
boss.
bit, who apologizes first when you fight?
Me, all the time. All the
Really?
time. I'm the nice guy, honestly.
Mr. World Champion apologizes
I have to
first.
apologize.
I think he does enough fighting in the ring, so at home he
So when I come
and
home,
it gets me even more angry because I want to start an argument. Sometimes you want the person to talk back and he just stays quiet, so that makes me even more angry.
Right, but coming back more, talking more about Pakistan and what you plan to do. You have quite an elaborate plan, a big agenda. Can you talk us through that?
So basically, I'll talk a bit about the boxing academies. We want to build more in Pakistan. The more boxing academies there are here, the more opportunity we will give to the boxers of Pakistan. And basically, we built one in Islamabad, the Jinnah Stadium. We're building one in Karachi very soon. Lahore, the CM promised me he's going to build me he's going to have me a boxing gym. We are still waiting on the paperwork. Also, we've been promised in so many different places, but obviously there's a lot of people who let you down. So that's my ambition, to do that.
Right.
Also, in Pakistan, I do a lot of charity work. I just come back from Thar. Also, Faryal was there as well.
You tell us a little bit about that.
Thar was very nice to go to there, but it was very sad with what I saw. I saw innocent children with no food, no water, no clothing. They had nothing, these people.
There's extreme poverty there,
and
yeah.
extreme poverty. But the thing is, people in Pakistan, we know that they don't even realize how much poverty these people in Thar have. So I took my wife with me this time because I wanted her to see the work I'm doing for Pakistan. And mashallah, with the water wells we are building, I am going to be going there next week again, because I am building I'm building like solar panels there, so then the people get free electricity. Also, they can do their own vegetation. There will be more water wells there, easier, which are run by solar panels. So these are things this is the future of the Amir Khan Trust, that what we want to do. And also I want to build a big orphanage.
Absolutely. And Faryal, you said you went to Thar as well. How did you feel when you saw all that?
It was so
And
sad.
and of course that's why your husband, I mean, he's deeply affected by it. That's why he's looking to make a huge contribution.
Well, my main reason to come to Pakistan was to visit these places. I really want to get involved in his charity, and the thing is that, when I see things like that, it makes me really emotional. But Amr made promises, and I said, you have to fulfill them now, because we couldn't really understand. He was so excited that I speak Urdu and I'll be able to communicate with them, but they speak Sindhi. So it was a bit difficult to understand them, but we had a translator, and they were really, really nice and really welcoming, and we're just there to help them. So inshallah, we're going to go back.
One thing about the Amir Khan Trust is that we are not going to promise, we're not going to give no fake promises. And whenever money comes in, 100% of that money will go to the poor people, and we will show where the money is being spent. We're not going to take 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. We're going to show straight away, because these people need our help straight away. We can't wait a year or two.
Absolutely, yes. And I think it seems as if, Amir, you understand your celebrity very well. You're using it to not your advantage, I mean to everybody's advantage.
Look,
so that's something you're doing very well, I think.
Now, in the UK, we have dinner events, charity dinner events, where it's full. Whenever I announce I'm doing charity dinner, we do an auction there, we sell boxing gloves there, I talk about boxing, about my career, and we sell tables for like $1,000 a table, and we sell about 20 tables. So that's 20 grand there already. So one thing about the name itself definitely pulls in the people, but then it's all about getting some donation from each person. Now, and the reason I like to show people where the money is being spent is so they see it's not going into my pocket. The money is not going to go into my pocket, and I show everything on black and white paper. Whatever they have given me, I'll say, this is what you have done. This is thank you for your donation, and this is where your donation has gone. And I show that. There's a lot of charities out there which don't do that, which they should do that. Because
right. And you've also, I can tell that you've used social media very well. That's why your reach has been incredible.
Social media is brilliant, yeah. I mean, I'm doing events in America, I'm doing events in Dubai, UAE, Pakistan, Asia, all over the world, England, and most of my events are sold from social media. So social media is the way forward now. I mean, I'm glad that we have social media in our lifetime.
This need to help people, Amir, where do you think it comes from? Because I can tell, I mean, look, by looking, we were talking about boxing, yes, you were extremely passionate about that, but I'm talking to you about this, I can tell that this deeply affects you.
No,
and you really want to make a difference.
You know, my parents have always been given to the poor, and when I go to villages and I go to places and I see these less fortunate people, Allah's given us so much. Even if we can give them a tiny bit of what we have, you know, you just want to put a smile on someone's face, because I have a daughter myself, and obviously I think I've got more into it since I had Lamaisa. Since we have Lamaisa, I can never see Lamaisa in a position where she has no milk, she has no food, she's hungry, she's sick, and that really upset me. So I rather, if it was up to me, I mean, I would change the whole world. I would just do, I mean, we have such a great government here in Pakistan. I think our government in Pakistan should definitely help the poor people here, should definitely push to take poverty away and build homes and give food and, you know, and educate people as well. So, you know, I think this is a long process, but I want to be the start of it.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing wonderful work, Amir, and I'm sure your work will continue and it will only see success. But remember, this is an Eid show, so we talked a little bit about Eid and what you guys did when you were younger, and now you're expected to give money. Faryal, are we expecting something special in the kitchen? Are you going to try your hand? Or I have a feeling you're not much of a foodie.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it looks like I like it from my weight, but I do cook. When I do cook, I do cook pretty good, but I don't really enjoy cooking as much.
She loves pasta.
Yeah, I like making easy like salmon and like, you know, breakfast. I'm big on breakfast.
You seem more like more of a breakfast person.
Yeah,
than
I'm really good
else.
at breakfast.
Breakfast, but she wakes up at lunchtime.
I have a feeling you saw some stuff on Instagram, breakfast
then,
stuff.
yeah,
and you thought, oh, this is interesting.
I swear, oh my
I do
God,
that.
so true.
Is that
so
true?
So basically, she's seen this Instagram post.
Asparagus with
asparagus
with
omelette
salmon on top, and omelet, and some.
So all I get is some days I'm
vinegar.
out and I get a list of stuff to get from the supermarket, and I look at
like
it and I
making
go,
breakfast.
and I look at it and I think this doesn't make sense, but she's definitely been on Instagram.
But he
She's been on
enjoys-
Instagram or something like that.
He
Yeah.
enjoys my breakfast.
They're really
though.
good, yeah. They are tasty.
What
But,
breakfast do you make? Is it like Western with desi
I
tinge
tried
or
making
something?
desi one time. I made a desi omelet with like spices, and he was like, "No, I don't want spices in my omelet." So he's a bit glorified like that.
Well, he did grow up in Bolton, so
Yeah.
But bro, you know, not only that, you know, basically I think with the diet I'm on, I'm always on clean food diets, especially when I'm training. I have to make sure my food is so clean and it's grilled and it's cooked well. So I'm quite, you know, picky like that.
Well, then I have to ask, Amir, you grew up in Bolton, but still a desi home. And I'm sure your mother made like, you know, wonderful curries, nihari, paratha,
Everything.
anda. So how did
Paratha,
you,
everything.
I mean, how did you manage to stay fit eating all that delicious but very, very, very unhealthy food?
I had to train twice as harder. I had to train, in most boxers train one day. I train 2 times a day just to kind of burn that food off, because it does put a lot of weight on you. Our food is very heavy. And you know, I want to introduce Pakistan, like being here, I want to introduce them with some diet food, how they should eat well, at the same time not put weight on.
Sort of like a Jamie Oliver initiative,
Yeah,
what he
because
tried to do in the UK.
100%, because I think it's about educating the people of Pakistan. Now, if you think about the food we eat too much oil. Instead of the ghee oil that we put in our salad, we could use something good like coconut oil instead, because coconut oil is more healthy. We could use the virgin oil instead. At the same time, instead of eating chapatis, you know, have brown rice instead because it's more healthier, or brown flour. So little things like that can make a big difference. And we need to cut down on the carbs. It's the carbs that put weight on us.
Yeah,
It's
because
not.
roti, I mean, that's a staple diet, and that's why it's hard to get rid of those tires.
My dad stopped
Yeah.
eating roti, and he lost like 15 pounds.
So I'm always
he does put on a lot of
So
weight.
he was my, Faryal's father was one of my guys who are told, do this, and mashallah, he lost
followed it,
15 pounds.
yeah.
He followed my
I think
routine.
now he lost 25.
25?
Yeah, the
He's
first
losing too much weight now, we better stop him.
Wait, he lost
He'll
25.
disappear.
He lost 25 pounds just by giving up roti.
No. He lost 15.
Oh,
by,
15,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
then now altogether, like he's on salads, and he's lost 25 altogether over a year's time,
But
2
you know,
years' time.
with anything in life, it's about eating good food. I mean, look, vegetables is something we
He
don't
eats
eat.
very healthy now.
When we eat vegetables, we cook them after so long, and the food gets like, you know, the food gets crazy and fat and all the nutrients leave the food because we cook at
Like
such
Amir
high level.
you started vegetable juice for my
So
whole
it's
family, so we all have vegetable juice.
Vegetable juicing, just drink it, even though if it doesn't taste good, it tastes nasty. You know, I have ginger shots at night time with vinegar.
That's another incentive to retire, Amir, so you can have delicious desi food and eat whatever you want.
I'll be like this then.
Well, it doesn't matter. If you're retired, it doesn't matter. Guys, we're about to wrap up, but very quickly before we do, if you guys have a message for people who are watching, go for it. You have the floor.
I just want to say a big thank you to everybody in Pakistan. Honestly, they show me nothing but love in this country. That's why I love to come back here and do more work here and do charitable work and also build boxing academies. I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing it for the people of Pakistan because they show me so much support and so much love. So inshallah, we'll be coming back here more often and doing more work for you people.
Faryal.
I just want to say the same. I want to say thanks to Pakistan for all the love they give us. I love the shopping here. We're going to be buying a house here soon. So inshallah, we'll be coming more often. And yeah, that's it really.
Guys, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. Faryal, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Amir, keep doing wonderful work. You're a true champion, and we wish you all the success in the world. God bless you both.
Thank you so much.
That's all we have time for. Keep watching Sports Extra on PTV World. See you next time.